Hello friends, welcome to the learning platform Claim IAS. Today we are back with a new topic of Aristotle, that is theory of law. So before we start with Aristotle theory of law, I have made conversation of both Aristotle and Plato for your better understanding. So here friends, Plato says, I believe that philosopher kings rules the best. This is opinion of Plato. Whereas the next opinion, if we see friends, that is Aristotle. He says, I believe there should be an establishment of law. And because philosopher king has desire to rule and law is made by different opinions and wisdom. So here, friends, Aristotle has different opinion from Plato. Why? Because here Plato believes in the philosopher king, whereas Aristotle believes in the law. So here Aristotle gives the importance of law. He says that law is made by various opinions. Here different opinions and wisdoms exist here. So law is the better form of rule. Hence Aristotle's opinion supports the law. At last, here Plato says, yes, Aristotle, I do agree with your opinion of law. So when Aristotle says the importance of law, at last Plato accepts the opinion of Aristotle about the law. So overall, our discussion will be around this conversation friends. And the first quotations that were given by Aristotle was, law is reason without passion. So here, friends, basically these statements gives importance to the law and it criticizes the rule of philosopher king, which Plato supports. And Aristotle criticizes the rule of philosopher king. So through this statement, friends, law is reason. This I will discuss briefly in upcoming slides. But whereas in the absence of passion, what does it mean? So when we break these statements, the first thing it comes, law without passion. So what does it mean, friends? It basically means passion can cloud judgment and lead to injustices. For instance, law based on personal desire for retributions are dangerous because they undermine fairness. Law should not be driven by individual sentiment, but rather their objective standard. What does it mean, friends? Let us understand. Here, friends, one individual should not control the law. Law need to have its own standard objective to run. So it should not be driven by a single individual or the individual sentiment, but it should have its own objective standard to run. So that is what it says. And the second point, that is separation of emotion from justice. So there is a separation of justice from emotions. What is that? By emphasizing without passion, Aristotle is suggesting that the law should not be influenced by personal feelings or the desire or the emotion state of lawmaker or judges. It should aim for an outcome based on purely logic and rule of law. So basically, friends, this statement means as we know, friends, every individual has some appetite, some desires, but whereas law don't have any desires, they don't have any appetite. As law is outward manifestations. So law don't have any desires or appetite like individuals. But here, friends, law has its own standard objective to run. Do not have any desires or appetite. So there is a separation of emotions from justice. So it is the best form of rule. And now, friends, let us look at the similarities between rule of law and rule of reasons. So basically, friends, here both law and reasons serve similar purposes to guide what is right and what is wrong. So here, friends, actually both law and reasons says you what is right and what is wrong. But the only difference is reasons is inside your soul. It means it is inside your thoughts. And law is nothing but a book of law. It has its own standard objectives. That is what law mean here. So the second point is law is in the book, whereas reasons is in the inside the soul. That is what I have told you, friends. And the third point is reasons. It is inward manifestations. It is present inside your thoughts, inside your soul. Whereas law is outward manifestations. Here, friends, here law has its own standard objective to rule. So here law is the best form of rule. That is what Aristotle says here. So now, friends, when Aristotle is saying law is the best form of rule, let us understand how it is better than philosopher king. So to understand that, we have several points that is given by Aristotle here. And the first point is the law made by so many individual wisdom will always prevail over the knowledge of individuals. One a single individual. It means a single individual. Who is single individual? The philosopher king. And the many peoples means different opinion exist here, friends. Suppose for example, friends, a law is made by different peoples, means different opinion is existing there, different wisdom is existing here. So the law that is made by different peoples will really be important from society perspective. How? Why? Because once law is made by different peoples with different opinions, with different wisdom, it will help people to solve their problem in easy manner, and there will be no corruptions. Why? Because different ideas exist here, different opinions exist here. So ultimately, law is the better form of rule. And individuals means single individual is not required here. Why? Because if single individual is there, he may have appetite to rule, he may have desire to rule, and that is why Aristotle is against the philosopher king. Philosopher king means the single rule. He is against the single rule, friends. So there should be no single rule in the state. And the second point is law is reason without passion. Here, friends, law has reason, as I've told you before, but it lacks passion. Passion in the sense desire or appetite to rule. That is what passion mean here. And the third point is law represent collective opinion and various wisdom. As I have told friends, law is made by different opinions and different wisdoms. And the next point is wisdom of many is preferable to the wisdom of one. Here, friends, we will accept the law and not the philosopher king. Why? Because philosopher king may have desire, may have appetite to rule, whereas here many peoples means it is made by many people. Why? Because here, see friends, law is made by many peoples, so it is preferable. It will be accepted by many. So that's the reason it is preferable by many people. And the last point is Plato itself accepts the limitation of his idea and changed his views in the book of law. If you see in the book of law, friends, if we read the book of law, there we will know the importance that he gave to the law and not to the philosopher king, as he got influenced by the Aristotle idea of law. So I hope friends, this concept is clear. So thank you, friends. Finally, we have completed our Aristotle, and the next chapter will be on Machiavelli. So if you love studying from our platform, do like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you, friends.